Hey everyone, Jim Gonzalez here, EDI Support LLC. It's another wonderful Wednesday. It's a little dreary here in Pennsylvania, a little cool, a little cold. So what we want to do is we want to talk about the IBM Sterling B2B Integrator. It's pretty interesting because there's a lot of people that actually have reached out, said that they were going to watch the video, said that they were had some questions, all of those type of things. So let me first start out by saying this. It's been quite some time since I've gone through personally and utilized the B2B Sterling Integrator as a package. And the package I am referring to is the on-prem Sterling B2B Integrator. Okay. I'm not talking about their SaaS model. I'm talking about the Sterling B2B Integrator on-prem, which basically, if you think back in the day, you've been around long enough, Sterling, Gentran, all of that wonderfulness has been around for a very long time. So a lot of the things and a lot of the people that when I put profiles out there and I'm looking for certain individuals to come onto staff and to come in to interview for joining EDI Support LLC, I see, I don't even know how many resumes I get all the time with people that know Sterling B2B Integrator. Okay. So that tells you the install base for Sterling B2B Integrator on-prem is enormous. The reason it is enormous is because, at least this is, again, all this is my take, a lot of enterprise entities utilize that product. Okay. They have it installed, they're utilizing it, they're doing all those things. So of course they need big staffs, lots of people to handle their mappings, their setups, and all of that wonderfulness. Okay. All of this is my take. This is what I'm seeing. This is my perception of everything. So when I think of IBM Sterling B2B Integrator, I think old. Not trying to be ageist when it comes to software. I just think old. I think a product that is somewhat bulletproof when it comes to handling EDI, EDIFACT, those type of things. When I think of things that are new, forward thinking, web services, API, JSON, different flavors of XML, Fire, those type of aspects, HL7s, somewhat, those type of aspects, and those type of newer, and by newer, I mean the last 10 years, those things, I don't think of IBM Sterling Integrator on-prem. Sterling Integrator IBM on-prem, again, I've always seen it as enterprise level companies. My particular company, we help a lot more of the small to medium, so the SMB market. We do help enterprise, don't get me wrong. We have some very nice clients that we work with that are enterprise level, big cap market, however you want to call it, billion dollar organizations. But typically that's not who we help. Like there are a smaller majority if you look at the larger percentage of all the companies that we help as an individual company. So when I get in these conversations with enterprise level companies and they happen to be using Sterling Integrator, one of the key things that usually pops up a lot of the times in our conversations is, hey, what are you dealing with? Mainframe Unix, AS400, iSeries, those bigger, larger development path, all of those type of things. Okay, now they take typically larger teams to get it all rolled out, all those things taken care of, a lot of checks and balances, a lot of corporate involvement. Okay. Another thing that I see with that is I see products that are not to the masses. They're older, they're possibly on their way out. With cloud, with SaaS, with iPaaS, with all of those things, web services, JSON, XML, so be it. All the different ones. And everybody can argue and fight and say, oh, well, we can do that. We can handle that. I'm talking in the platform, not adding another layer using curl, Python, whatever, or Postman, however you want to handle it. Okay. So when people come to me and they say, Sterling Integrator, what do you think of it? What are you looking at? What are your philosophies? My mindset is I don't like adding layers. I don't like having multiple products to handle things. I've become somewhat of I like a one product shop. I like being able to handle any type of MFT, any type of API, any type of conversions, any of those things inside of that one platform, one product type aspect. I also am very cost conscious when I think of things, and I think of what's going on, because again, I put myself in the position of the client of the company, and I act as though it's me spending my money. So Sterling Integrator, B2B, a lot of people don't realize this either. If you work for an enterprise level client, typically you're not involved in the purchasing. You're not involved in the overall day-to-day. Maybe you're the mapper, maybe you're helping with business process, maybe you're doing all of those things. So cost consciously, you're not worrying about the money that's being spent. What I've always seen is when IBM Sterling Integrator on-prem is involved, bare minimum, you're looking at a $50,000 investment for the licensing. Okay. And it only goes up from there. All right. Equate apples to apples, looking at software that does the exact same thing. I can get software cheaper than that. Okay. And again, this isn't bashing. This is just me and what I see and the way that I feel. Okay. So I can get the equivalent at a lesser cost that has all the same features, that has the same limitations, because it's not having, research and development being thrown at it. The research and development that people need to understand is not being thrown at on-prem products. The research and development is really being thrown at your SaaS, cloud-based, those type of things. Purchasing a license, being able to utilize that product forever because they maintain it. And that's what I take when I hear Sterling B2B, is it's being maintained. It's being, yes, it's being increased on the different versions of Windows, different flavors of, Linux, different flavors of any AS400 things that are being put out there, the different protocols and that kind of stuff. So it's being maintained to work with those things. It's not being added with all kinds of functions, features, and all of that. That's why when you look at the user interface still looks like, and I joke around about it, it still looks like it's from the 90s. I started in EDI in the 90s, 1998 at the edge, but I still started in the 90s. So one of the things that you have to take into place and you have to think about is, if you want latest and greatest, and you want something that is having research and development and is moving forward, not staying in the same position, you have to look at what the product's doing. For me and what I see, IBM Sterling B2B is not moving forward. It's staying existent. It's staying and it's working towards the individuals that need it, the install base, the revenue that's coming in from it, maintenance, yearly renewals, all those type of things. Okay. They want to transition people to SaaS all day long. Ask their top level management. I'm willing to bet, not that I have them on here, but I'm willing to bet they'll have that conversation. And you say, hey, what do you think of your on-prem product? They're going to let you know that, listen, it's there, it's great, we're helping to maintain it, we're helping to do those things, but that percentage of individuals and companies that we're helping with it is reducing year after year because people are moving to the cloud. People are also wanting to move forward with newer technology, newer things that can be done. Everybody can say EDI is old, it's archaic, it's never going to go anywhere. Well, there's different flavors of EDI. There's different flavors inside of there. So that's one of the reasons that, we don't support Sterling B2B. We just don't. Again, I have something that's equivalent that I've been supporting. And again, I'm not trying to knock either one. I'm just saying from our standpoint, and that's the OpenText ECS and Delta. From a standpoint of which product am I going to go with? I'm going to go with that one because it does the same features and it's half the price. It doesn't make sense. But I also know the limitations that I have with that product. It's the same thing. It's not really web services. It's not really doing all kinds of crazy research and development on moving it forward. It's being maintained. So when people come to me and they ask me for my advice and they ask me for what do I think of, IBM Sterling B2B Integrator, and can I take and go from Sterling B2B Integrator and can I go into, Boomi or Just Transform or MuleSoft or any of the various ones that are out there? Well, the problem is you know how to do mapping. You can do mapping inside of those products, but you're also setting up, most of those products, you're setting up the business process where, a B2B has it built in. You're not telling it to archive files. You're not telling it to literally go through and every piece, almost like a flow chart, flow charting what the business process looks like. And it's a visual representation of that business process. So it takes a little bit of time for you to learn where the different pieces at, where the different setups handled, where are all those things being done. So when you're looking at a pathway and you're thinking of where's this product going to be in 10 years, that install base is diminishing year after year. So it's only going to keep getting smaller. It's the same thing when you think of networks and servers and all of those things. How many people and how many organizations now maintain physical servers? I would love to see what those numbers look like year after year. What do people do that are still dealing with Unix, AS400s, Linux? How many do you think, what's that percentage that's out there? What does that percentage become year after year? Are we seeing it do this? Are we seeing it plateau? Or are we seeing it go down? My perception and what I'm seeing in the conversations that I'm having, it's all going down. People are moving to the cloud. So when you apply for a job and you look for certain things, you have to understand, are you in a niche? Are you in an opportunity that's looked at from the masses? Or are you learning a product and dealing in a product that's on its way out? It's just how long do you have to last with that product? So think about that. Think about what you're doing and where you're investing your time, your money, your effort, and all of those things. And if you think I'm wrong, that's okay. I can have people disagree with me. Again, these are the things that I'm seeing and what I'm seeing going on in there. So when you come to us and you say, I would love for you to give us an answer on these problems that we're having with B2B Integrator and all of those type of things, I can only say to you, I'm sorry, I haven't dealt with it in over 10 years. Because I'm trying to always keep our clients on the forefront of any requirement that's thrown at them, we can handle and we can deal with. Yes, again, do I still have clients that are running ECS and Delta? Yeah, they are. Do I know eventually they're going to have to migrate? Probably. But I let them aware of that. It's their choice. It's just like people's choices to stay using Sterling B2B Integrator. Again, IBM's not dumb. They're looking to the SaaS model. Everybody is. So why wouldn't you go in that direction if that's where you see the trending effort of where you can gain new clients or move your existing clients? So if you're sitting there and you know IBM Sterling B2B Integrator and you know it inside and out, if you've made a great niche that you have clients that you know are going to be doing it for the next 20, 30 years, and they're never going to move off of it, more power to you. Stay with it, do your thing. There's always going to be money that you can make, especially working in niche markets. If not, and you want to grow and you want to look at opportunities and all of those type of things, it's not the product that I would base the rest of my career on. And again, that's not me picking, that's me just saying the way that I look at it. So here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna show this. Again, this is where some people don't agree. I think that's a little unfair, not because B2BI is static, I agree, but there is development around Sterling VAN. Hold on, listen. I'm not talking about Sterling VAN. Under its new name, migration from Gentran and B2BI to the VAN is much easier than, say, Part to Boomi. I sold Boomi EDI and I know where the bodies are. By the way, I no longer recommend Boomi for EDI due to product direction changes. I'm also biased because I started work a BP supporting and selling B2BI and B2BI SaaS. Again, this is where I'm not trying to argue, I'm not trying to fight, I'm giving you my insight. So you're talking about two different products. I'm talking about on-prem solely. That's where you're not listening to the whole conversation. So on-prem solely is what I'm referring to. I'm not referring to their SaaS. SaaS, cloud. Are they doing R&D all day long? Every company is. Sterling B2B Integrator on-prem, when you think of Windows, AS400s, Unix, all of the different level of platforms, on-prem licensed ability software is not where the future is going to be. And you've proved that point by what you're stating. And I understand what you're saying about you don't like the direction of Boomi, all of those type of things. We can, again, have those conversations. I'm never saying, and I always tell people this, I even tell my partnerships, Boomi, Just Transform, even my referral partnership with ECS and Delta, they all know when it doesn't make sense and things aren't going the way that they need to go and clients start to have complaints and their software is not taking care of me and taking care of those clients, guess what? I'm going to find new software and I'm going to find a platform that's going to work for these clients to make sure that they're taken care of, whether that's from a performance, a usability, a price standpoint, all of those things. So understand that I'm not loyal if it doesn't make sense for me and my clients. And it's something that I can't stand behind and represent correctly. So again, we're talking about two different aspects. That's the way that I look at things. That's the way that I handle things. Anybody else can make their videos. They can come on, they can shoot me a message. We can have a discussion. I'll put you live. We can talk it out. And you can tell me and give me information that maybe I'm not seeing and conversations that I'm not having and conversations that you're having. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not here to be the end all be all God of EDI. I'm here to give people enlightenment, know what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and where things are going. So It only says LinkedIn user, so I don't know exactly who had put that comment. But anyways, that's really what I wanted to go through and what I wanted to talk about. And the things that I'm seeing, the pros, the cons, I hope I covered and I've given you some insight when it comes to IBM Sterling Integrator, on-prem, not SaaS, not cloud, not what you consider VAN, which VAN is actually an EDI mailbox. You can fight me on that all day long. Value-added network. Value-added networks, some do translation, some don't. Some have platforms, some don't. All of those type of things. We can have that discussion all day long too. Again, this is the way that I see things, not the way that everybody else sees things. So what do we got here? Good stuff. I would argue that all on-prem solutions in the market are susceptible to SaaS bleeding through. I agree. All on-prem products are going to go away eventually. It's going to happen. SaaS is going to take over. It's going to be SaaS or iPaaS or any of that kind of stuff. So it's just what I'm seeing. But anyways, so I did my session. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, have any comments, have anything that you need to do, please follow, subscribe, like our channel. Again, I'm only one individual. I'm only somebody that can have these conversations, and you may be having different conversations. If you are, enlighten me. Let me hear it. Let's talk about it. Let's do a LinkedIn live session. I'm totally up for it. Anyways, I will speak to you next week. I hope you have a great week and a great Wednesday. Take care, everybody.